Hey, it's Bradley J, and I'm here with Joe in the rainforest at the Topeka Zoo. So, Joe, let me ask you, what kinds of animals will visitors see here in the rainforest exhibit?
Uh, Probably our most popular animal, and I'm going to mention her first, is our sloth, Jackie. She is a Hoffman sloth, which is a type of two-toed sloth. You can usually see her hiding out up near the top of our dome, every now and then in trees using her very impressive camouflage. We have a wide variety of birds. We have South American, African, and Southeast Asian species, which are really interesting to see. And one of our more unique species is probably our greater Malayan chevrotain, which look like a very tiny deer. They're not actually deer, but they're not a species that you'll see in a lot of zoos in the United States. So they're very, very impressive little animals.
So, here in the rainforest, here at the Topeka Zoo, how do you take care of all of the different plants that you have here in the exhibit?
So on the animal care side, we do a lot of posing the plants off just to, we have a lot of birds, so a lot of birds make a lot of poop. So we clean that poop off the plants. We also do some minor pruning, but the vast majority of the care of our plants is by our horticulture team. We have a fantastic horticulture team that will work in here year round, but winter time is when they spend a lot of their time in here because out on the ground, there's not as much to do because of winter. So they spend a lot of their time in winter really working on the plants in here, and they do a phenomenal job taking care of and planting new plants in here.
What about the animals in here? What does their care consist of?
The care for the animals consists a lot of cleaning the pathways in the area of a lot of the waste, a lot of the poop. But otherwise, we do a lot of very specific food placement items to encourage animals to go in specific areas. Much of that is to help facilitate medical care if we need to have our vet look at any of the animals. We do, for many of our species, different training, also to help facilitate medical care as needed to get them to do as much as possible voluntarily. That is much less stressful for them and for us. Additionally, we do a lot of what we call enrichment, which are just activities to help stimulate our animals mentally and also to help encourage natural behaviors.
So I'm here with Joe in the tropical rainforest. A great waterfall behind you, man. You have to feel like you're actually it does feel like you're out in the wild here at the Topeka Zoo in the rainforest. So here in the rainforest at the Topeka Zoo, are there any endangered animals here, and how does the zoo help protect them?
One of our most popular endangered species is our golden lion tamarins, which you can find at the front of our rainforest. They have an indoor area and an outdoor area. Their numbers are pretty low, probably in the 1,500 to 2,000-ish range. But in the 1990s, they almost went extinct. They came very close. Through a lot of concerted breeding efforts over the decades since then, those numbers have risen. But we are part of a breeding management group that will breed and help place these animals in places to help keep that population higher.
Joe, how does the exhibit teach people about why rainforests are important to the entire world?
I think one of the things that our rainforest does is it showcases the diversity of not only the animal life in rainforest, but the plant life. Because we have representative species from tropical areas all over the world, not just South America or just Africa, it just really showcases that diversity and how important a lot of these species are to the various ecosystems that they live in. And then additionally, at the front of our rainforest, across from our golden lion tamarin area, we have an educational exhibit that showcases just the sheer variety and quantity of products that you just day-to-day use that actually come from rainforest sources, whether that's plants or animal products that we just would not have if rainforests were not healthy and thriving.
Okay, Joe, so I need to know the most shocking fact that will blow visitors' minds at the Topeka Zoo about the rainforest.
I think one of the things that surprised the people the most when I talk to them is when I tell them that between November and February, the entire rainforest is pruned and trimmed down to an extremely low level. Our horticulture team will spend the winter pruning most of our trees and all of our trees and our plants For their health, it's actually very good for the plants. But then it also allows more sunlight in during the winter, which helps keep the place a little bit warmer. And the reason that's surprising is because anyone who's been here, it does not look like they're ever pruned. They grow back so quickly. It's almost to the point that when they do a pruning of a tree, 2 to 3 weeks later, you can barely tell anything happened. Now if you happen to be here on the day they do it, it's a little bit jarring because you're like, whoa, look, there's so much sky you can see now. But yeah, everything just grows so quickly once it's pruned.
I was gonna say, I've been in here in the summertime, and I was thinking of that. I was like, this looks a lot like, I would call it like cleaner, you know what I mean? Like from everything. So you need to come out now to check it out here in the rainforest, and then come back like in the summer months when it's just like, would you call it like full bloom?
Yeah, a lot of flowering plants, leaves are fully out. Right now, you can tell the trees that we've just pruned, but the stuff that we started with back in November, you already can't really tell that they've had much pruning happen because they've grown so quickly.
All right, so Joe, I got one more question as we're here in the rainforest at the Topeka Zoo. What can people do to help save the rainforest after their visit here at the Topeka Zoo?
A couple things that can really help out is, if you're looking for furniture or doing a project, really look at where the wood comes from and try to avoid using tropical hardwoods. That's a big source of rainforest decline, just a lot of illegal logging. Additionally, just, if you look at where a lot of products come from, if you have options to purchase products that aren't necessarily sourced from rainforest plants, that's a good alternative in many cases, just to try to reduce how much wood and how much plant material is removed from the rainforest.